eyes on the shield, the coax up there, and I know on the swap of the round table that I will be listening through, and yeah, I hope George HCX gets his receiver going, so he was coming through good on the transmitter. So with that, Dennis, back to you, K86VWS.
All right, Ron, K86VWS and AMI West Coast Net W60Q. Yeah, I apologize for messing up there. Oh well, we got you in there, and thank you for taking the early list tonight. Nice list, and we got to, hopefully conditions will continue to improve. The East Coast will get quieter, hopefully, and things will be good. So, good to have you there, Ron. All right, now I'll turn it over to Mike, KM6QQU. Go ahead and take your turn, and thanks for reminding me.
AMI number is 1768 and run the ART-13 with the amplified D104 microphone and receiving with a BA348Q model that still has the original dynamo in it. Yeah, I got short, but by the Hughes hopefully He's got HM102 watt meter in front of me, so I don't have to look behind me. And that's about it. No round table, no on the swap, but I will be listening through. So back over to you, Dennis. W6DQ.
Oh, very good, Mike. KM6QQU and AMI West Coast Net W60Q Net Control. Well, man, that ART-13 sounds great. And works well with the D104. That really sounds great there, Mike, and it's really always awesome to hear that. So glad you got that all up and running, and sounds like it's doing a good job. So Larry, W6WUH, you're up next. Please take your turn. This is W6DQ.
Good evening, Dennis. Thanks for taking the net. Sorry we're not going to hear Vic. Always a pleasure to hear Vic and to have one net control of these in Northern California, but glad to have you. W6WUH, Larry, and Austin Castle running the AMI in transceiver tonight about 90 watts a carrier. D104 microphone audio processing courtesy of the coiled cord. Running it all through the Yaesu YO101 monitor scope. Heathkit 2060A antenna tuner and open wire 450 ohm ladder line to 75 meter dipole up at about roughly 35 feet. And oriented to put the lobe in the northwest southeast direction, pretty much favoring Southern California, I hope. That's a story from here. I don't think I'll be here for the roundtable. I've got a couple of Globe Kings to sell. I'm good on QRZ, so I've got a Globe King 500 Alpha and a Globe King 400. So you can give me a call on those if you're wanting some good iron. I've been running them here most nights when I'm on, but tonight I decided to go low power up the atmosphere. Back to you, W6WUH.
Okay, Larry, super. And yeah, the 90 watts is doing a great job. You're 20 over down here. 90 watts in the dipole, and the orientation must be right, and propagation is good. So you sound good here, and fine business on the gear for sale. If anybody didn't catch that, Larry's got a Globe King 500A and a 400, both of them for sale, and he's good on QRZ if you want to get in touch with him for that. So G76. Yeah, you're sounding good, and nice too. And thanks for taking the early list last night, Larry. That was a fun net last night. That was a good group, so we enjoyed that. Next up, she's sitting next to me, KF6QNG. It's your turn. This is W60Q for the West Coast AMI net.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you to Dennis for running the show tonight. And thank you to Ron. It looks like he took the earliest. So my AMI number is 1766. I have nothing to buy, sell, or swap. Well, let's see what's going on here with me. Just finally sticking around home long enough to get some things done here. Got new tires for my car today. Desperately needed with the upcoming winter. Even though we don't have snow and ice and a lot of rain here, but still always good to be ready for anything, especially now that I've been traveling more on the road.
I don't even remember what the brand name is.
Anyway, it's all good. Ran some other errands in town, and otherwise life is going well. So with that, it goes back to Dennis, W60Q from KF6QNG.
Okay, Lisa, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm glad you got the new tires. Feel that things are a little safer with your car. I got to be doing the same thing for my truck here pretty quick too, and I'm not looking forward to that because they're not cheap. But anyway, like anything these days. So good on you. Yeah, we have been doing a lot of traveling. I guess I might add in on that. We were down south for Lisa's sister's birthday last weekend, and followed by Wayne Springs' Celebration of Life, which was absolutely wonderful. A few of you were there, I know. We saw a couple of you there, which was nice to see you. It was really a nice event and well attended. We were guessing 150, 160 people were there, so it was pretty cool. And then Tuesday, Lisa and I, along with her sister and brother-in-law, headed over to Disney Studios for the studio tour. And that was quite exciting and quite a neat thing to do. So we had a lot of fun with that, and that's kind of a rare thing you get to do. They have it's by invitation, I guess. Yeah, you got it through the D23 invitation. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of neat that we got to do that. So I'm glad she found that and signed us up. That was good. All right. So I don't think we're going to, by the way, I don't think we'll stick around for the round table. By the time this is over tonight, I think I'll be pretty much done for the day. So next up, and I'll take a break shortly for more check-ins, but next up we've got Don, NF7R. Go ahead and take your turn, W6DQ.
Yes, W6DQ. This is NF7R, and I switched back over. This is for Ron's benefit, in case he hears any difference. But I switched back over to the DX100 right now, so running about whatever it'll run here. I didn't look at the meter, and an MC183 Delta receiver, and I'm using a Shure Model 51 microphone going into a full-wave band dipole that covers 160 through 20. And let's see, AMI number 1769, and I won't belabor the point, but not able to work on this heavy metal as much as I'd like. I had a hip replacement surgery in July. Went out on me 3 times after that, so was not fun. So I had to go back in a couple of weeks ago, and they did a revision surgery on the hip, and hopefully it'll stay connected to me this time. But I got to take it easy on that. I know I'm not the only one with a hip replacement, but hopefully not too many failures in that department. I won't keep it, but anyway, had to go back on the DX100 here. I couldn't help it. It works great on 160 through 40, but it has problems on 20 and above. And even on 40, it starts to get temperamental, so I've just got to track down why it. I think there's the switch that changes the pipe output coil, and I just got to buckle down and get that straightened out. Well, let's see, back to you. Let's see, Dennis. Great signal, by the way. You have the best signal I'm hearing on of everybody, but I am hearing everybody pretty well. W6DQ in the group. This is NF7R.
Okay, Don, very good. NF7R, W6DQ, net control. Well, thank you for that. And yeah, the DX100 sounding good. Big signal, you're 20 over. Signals are pretty consistent here. It's interesting that everybody seems to be roughly that same range, 20 to 30 dB over 9 here. So it's pretty impressive tonight. But you're sounding good. Glad you were able to get the DX100 on the air. And sorry to hear about the problems with the hip replacement. Yeah, that sounds kind of unusual. I don't think that's a common thing to have happen, that you'd have be on your third failure there. That's crazy. But hopefully they'll get it sussed out and everything will be good now. So keeping our fingers crossed for you. Hope that goes well. So let me take a quick break. I'll look for some more check-ins. This is W6DQ net control operator for the West Coast AMI net. Please come now. Okay, I heard it was a W7, and I think it was Alpha, Kilo Alpha. Can you give it to me phonetically, please? And I don't recognize the call. Maybe a name and location, please.
Well, I guess whether it's misinterpreted or on purpose, but anyway, so
first time check-in, the name is Robert, Oscar Bravo, Echo Romeo Tango. Location, I'm in Tocatee. Tango Oscar Kilo, Echo Tango, Echo Echo, Oregon. It's about 60 miles upriver from Roseburg, over.
Okay, Robert, very good. I got it that time. W7, Mike Kilo Alpha. So good to have you aboard. And not super strong down here, but I did copy you that you said this was your first check-in, so please stick around. We're about a third of the way through the list here. And everybody, we just go down through the list. Everybody gets a chance to say their piece, talk about their equipment, whatever has been going on in their neck of the woods lately. So look forward to hearing your update there. So just stand by. Next up, I've got Scott, I think another new one, KD8, PIQ down in Torrance and close to my old stomping grounds down there, South Bay. So Scott, go ahead and take a turn. This is W6DQ, net control.
Well, thank you, Dennis. W6DQ. This is Kilowatt Delta 8, Papa India, Quebec. Scott here in Torrance, Southern Cal.
that's the way it is here.
Well, it appears my radio is still functioning properly, so that's a bonus.
I was still working it.
Anyhow,
had a foot of snow.
I primarily operate on the FT950 Asia radio, but I have a Viking 500 on my workbench right now. I've been doing a restoration on, but it's not mine, unfortunately. My main rack that I went through about 5 years ago is a Viking 2, and I still have not even set it up yet. I stay pretty busy. My family owns and operates Henry Radio Amplifiers and Novix custom radio rack mount, so I stay very busy running those operations with my uncle. Yeah, it's a small family business. I've been here in Southern Cal for about 5.5, 6 years or so now. I'm born and raised from West Virginia, West Bygone, Virginia, Southern West Virginia, in Beckley. It's quite the experience out here. I'm now getting everything set, so I'm hoping to try to become a more familiar face, as you would say, here in AM band. I do primarily operate AM, although I've done my fair share of sideband. Not really much of the digital modes or anything, but my heart is old tube iron. That's what I really like, although I am operating on this FT950.
Well, the thing...
Looks like right now I'm running about 370 watts of carrier with one of my recent builds. So this is a new Henry solid state LD MOS amplifier that I'm testing out. I actually just finished building this one last week. And got everything set up just to run this and make sure that nothing catches on fire. And I'm really happy that my antenna hasn't melted yet. So that's wonderful. But I enjoy listening to you guys. I've been listening for a few months, but just getting everything ready now. But I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. This is Kilowatt Delta 8 Papa India, Quebec. Back to you, W6DQ. Thank you.
Oh, you bet, Scott. Nice signal here, too. KAD8PIQ, W6DQ net control. Well, fantastic. You know, I met, Lisa probably doesn't remember, met Bob. Actually, I've met him a couple of times. Last time was up at the DX convention in Visalia this year, and had a nice visit with him. And he had a couple of really neat radios there he was selling, including a nice-looking early RME receiver. So a lot of us here, most of us here, are into vintage radios. We got a couple other nets on during the week you might want to check out. I was looking at your QRZ page and seeing all the gear there, the Collins gear. We got a Collins net on Friday on 3895 at 7:30. 3895 at 7:30 on Friday, and there's a vintage. We have a vintage group, which we call the Vintage Single Sideband Roundtable, on Tuesday nights on 3895, and that's at 7 p.m., 7 o'clock. We take earlies a little bit, 6:30 for the Vintage Sideband Roundtable, and about 15 minutes early for the Collins net. But come and join us. Love to have you up there, and we all share a passion for this old vintage gear. So although I sure like running the Flex here. This is a nice radio, and we do have a couple of Henrys, old Henrys, a 2K2 and a 2K4 here in the shack. So we are very, very familiar with the Henry amps, and of course the old Henry store over in West LA. And that old building is still standing. I can't believe it, that it's still there. They haven't knocked it down to make room for a freeway or something. But nice to have you aboard, Scott, and do come back, and please become a regular. Be nice to have you here. So next up, let's see. I got John, WA6JUS. Take your turn, W6DQ.
If you think about it, Bill.
Look at all the surface area. The more surface area you got on the snow, the more likely yours. Because you don't have a white and a narrow concentrated place to bring through. And look at all the surface area you've got. There's steer tires in the least. And then you've got a set of tandems or two on the tractor, then maybe two more sets of tires on this line of surface area.
Oh, fine business, John. No problem hearing you at all with Big Mamu. I've got you. So W6JUS, W6DQ. Yeah, nice signal. And sorry you can't stick around, but get rested up, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. So let's see. Up next, KN6IYC, also down South Valley. Larry, take your turn. W6DQ.
Man, my favorite place to go while we're going to
KN6IYC, Larry. Sounds like maybe you left the building. If you're there, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Oh, my W6DQ Dennis. Oh, my goodness.
But anyway, we had to go up there 2 or 3 times and deliver stuff. I never went into the city. I told the people I was working for, man, I won't go into New York City. Forget it. I wasn't going to take it.
Pretty good night all on the local receiver here. Anyway, let's see what's happening here. Well, it's the Johnson Viking Ranger D104 microphone, SB 610 scope, plus FM 30 frequency monitor. Looks like it's 38701. But I got a nice little trapezoid going, and Gonsa GSB 101 linear amplifier with about 300. Carrier again. Hammerlin HQ 170, matching S200 speaker. My AMI number is 1815. But yeah, Chamber Commerce weather here in Crest, California. It was supposed to be, hot and windy, and yeah, it got a little bit warm, but the humidity was really low, and we didn't get the winds that they were expecting, and got a real nice hike in up in the Laguna Mountains today. With Debbie and I went up there. And we hiked a little bit of the Pacific Crest Trail, about 6 miles of it, so that was a really nice time. Now, let's see, that's about it. It's just a beautiful night, and the World Series is motoring along, and last I looked,
we came up through Pennsylvania.
but anyway, we'll see what happens with that. No on the swap, no on the round table, but I'll listen on around. Thanks for getting me on the list, Ron, and thanks for your patience, Dennis. I almost missed the boat. I was talking to Debbie. She just pulled in the garage. So, anyway, back to you. W6DQ, KN6IYC.
Okay, Larry, no problem at all, and I can be persistent. So glad you were there. And yeah, 38701. That's what I make here on the Flex. You're pretty darn close there, so you got it. On my receive side, that looks good. So we are, according to this thing, I'm on 3870.000, and of course this is GPS. Let's see, am I GPS locked? I'm not quite GPS locked yet. It's still warming up, so not quite locked in, but we're going to be pretty darn close. And I hear our search and rescue helicopter flying overhead from China Lake. They make a lot of noise, and they fly right over our house here. So you may hear that in the background. Up next, I've got George. W6YEC.
No place to pull over.
Go ahead and take your turn.
Get off the road and go down those steep ruts.
Yeah, okay, Dennis and Lisa, W6YEC. Thanks a lot for taking the net, Dennis. Appreciate it. And Ron for taking all the earlies, as you always do so faithfully. Good to hear everybody. Big signals tonight on the net here. Pretty good, and to hear some new people on, that's awesome. And to hear our station there with the Henry amplifier, boy, what a bodacious signal in the San Diego area. Beautiful sounding. So congratulations on the continued work there with the Henrys. All right, AMI 1197 here tonight, running the normal setup. AKG microphone into a Behringer hooked to our Viking Ranger out of the audio system there, and that's how we kind of fine-tune the audio. And the Ranger 2 driving a Dentron MLA 2500 for about 350 watts, getting us up right up there at the legal limit level on AM. And listening tonight, I hooked up the 75A4. I hadn't used it for a while. By the way, this receiver used to belong to Norton Johnson, W6CC, so it's kind of a prized possession. And one he had modified a bit, and with some ideas that he had. He used to work very closely with Art Collins on RF engineering stuff. So anyway, by the way, Norm W6CC was in a memory home. He passed away this last week, and so we lost Norm. And his equipment has been distributed around, and I think you got some stuff up there, Dennis. We needed a place, a good Collins place to park it, so I think Joe got some equipment up to you. And I heard that Viking 2 lid fit perfectly. I am so glad about that. I had that stuff sitting there. I wondered what I was going to do with it. And when you said you needed it, that was a joy to my heart. And whatever you can do with the other stuff, I sent you the other metal. And got a number of things out there in the shed. I have a brand new escutcheon for like an HT 32 transmitter, the brand new one, and I think I have a glass out there for like an SX101 or something. I'd have to go and look and see exactly what it's for. And, it's stuff that I'm never going to use, and you don't want to, just dispose of it. Somebody might need it. Anyway, one of the things we got to do is get that Coast Guard receiver out and hook it up and have WWV on 10 megacycles coming through and broadcast stations. I'm going to take it out of the shack here, blow it out with the air compressor, and put it back on the shelf and ready when we can find arrangements to get it to Sharon. She wanted it because of the Coast Guard factor. Not a pretty receiver. It does work. When I got it, it wasn't working. It had an intermittent on the filament line. Believe it or not, it's an AC/DC national receiver that they made for the Coast Guard. So the filaments are all in series, and one of the contacts would go bad and I'd lose the radio. And I fixed that a long time ago. It was sitting out in my shed and I had it hooked up out there. I could turn it on if I wanted, but access to me, so I'm glad Sharon can use it. I mean, she's not going to necessarily use the receiver, but it'll, be a remembrance of Wayne and his Coast Guard days. So there you go, an R115, if anybody wants to look it up. It's fashioned after the National 240 receiver, minus some of the extra features like the crystal oscillator, that kind of thing. I mean the crystal filtering. It doesn't have that in it. But it's that same receiver, except it's built a little differently. But it's got that big sliding coil on the bottom that runs along the track, National used to use, with their gearing system, and a real nice big dial. It spins nicely, and you grab it and you just take it with your hand and spin it across the front of the dial there. Anyway, that's ready to go for Sharon. By the way, I still have an SX42 here that we had recapped and repaired and was working beautifully, but when I went to use it a few weeks ago after the net, I couldn't find my stations. Why? Because the dial was off. The radio still works fine. It's got a mechanical issue. If somebody would like that receiver to mess with, it's available. It's just a pickup, and it's all been recapped. It's got a ton of caps in it, but I don't want to go all the work, take those caps out, if somebody can use the radio. It works all the way up to FM. That was the year Hallicrafters came out with FM on the receiver, like the 42, and then later on the smaller one. And so anybody that wants that can come pick it up. The thing that I do have is the cabinet. I put about $150 into the cabinet, had it sandblasted and then powder coated, and so I'm not going to include the cabinet unless somebody wants to give me the $150 for the cabinet. That's fine. Or make the cabinet available to somebody that maybe has a messed up SX101 or HT32 cabinet, and they want something that's real pretty. That's where the cabinet would be serviced to somebody. So that's what we've got, Dennis. If anybody's interested in any of that, 619-277-6043. Trying to clear the decks here and see if we can clean up the shack a little bit. Thanks a lot. Back to you, my friend. W6DQ, W6YEC.
Oh, fantastic. W6YEC, W6DQ. Fantastic, George. Nice transmission and very good on all of that. Yes, it was. I appreciate the thoughts there from yourself and from Mike to tote all that stuff up here. And I'm so sorry to hear that Norm passed last week. That's just really sad. Boy, there's another one. We're losing a lot of our old timers these days, unfortunately. And boy, there's a lot of history there with Norm. And I do appreciate the documentation. And as I mentioned in the email, some of it was so perfectly timed to arrive that there were original manuals for a couple of pieces of equipment that I have here that I've been looking for manuals for a long time. So that was pretty cool to see that. plus the fact that there was a whole set of documentation literature on Collins filters. And I'm going to be going down to help Sharon, along with one of her other friends. We're going to be going through the radios that are there at the house and trying to get whatever is there working so we can sell them for her. And one of the things that I was stumbling through is a drawer full of Collins filters and not knowing what they are. So there's a whole pile of literature on that, and that will help a great deal. It'll save a lot of time. So that was really cool. I really appreciate Mike bringing that up, and it was really, really great to meet him in person, and had a lot of fun chatting with him. And yes, the sheet metal, or the perf metal, the top fit perfectly. It's on the radio, and that radio is going to be up for refurbishment. When I gave that to Max, it was working. I know it's not working now because it doesn't have a line cord, but we're going to get that thing back on the air, and we'll bring it up here on AMI sometime. So George, thank you so much again for that, and a nice big signal. Actually, probably one of the strongest signals here. You're usually pretty strong here. You're like 30 to 40 over here tonight, so big signal. So thanks for being there, and we'll catch you soon again. Next up, I've got Bob, WA9JIB. It's your turn. Go ahead, W6DQ.
You read me the list of questionnaires, or the questionnaire, I think, and
it looks like maybe, Bob, you're having trouble. I'm seeing a carrier come up, but no audio. Are you there? Go ahead. Okay, if he's hearing me, I'll come back to Bob. We'll put him down. I think he may be having some problems there. Something was going on there. So we'll go over to George, W8VG. Go ahead and take your turn. This is W6DQ.
Very good, Dennis. W6DQ and the net. This evening, here is George, W8 Victor Golf, out here in Oro Valley, Arizona, about 10 miles north of the old Pueblo, Tucson, Arizona. And copying everybody really nicely here this evening. A little bit of mosh, we're over here on the east side, but not too bad. Got strong signals down here out of Sixth Land. Anyways, running the usual stuff here this evening. Homebrew pair of 813s modulated by a pair. Running pretty close to legal limit. Listening on an R390, not an A, an older one. And the antenna is an inverted V for 160 out there in the South 40 pit with the ladder line down here to a homebrew link tuner in the shack.
I'm figuring it out.
And having a pretty good day out here at Dennis. Very nice weather. It's fall has come to Arizona at last. It's in the 80s. And spent some time outside doing chores basically today. Have had some time to continue work on my homebrew project out in the garage. My 1939 RF deck, old Buzzard RF deck, and we're just about done with that. It's going to be a pair of 812s in push-pull, all link coupled, and going to just about done with the wiring and ready for the checkout. I think I'll try to drive it with a rice box. Hopefully I've got the link right, and see if I can make some grid current and go from there. And probably steal some high voltage off one of the supplies out here in the shack. So anyways, that's a long-term project. The goal is to get something here, to get an old Buzzard 1930 station built around my old Breading 12 receiver that I restored about 2 years, and now have a manual for, thanks to George, YEC. Let's see, what else is going on? Other than that, not too much. My AMI number is 1814.
No, you gotta
and
do it.
nothing to buy, sell, swap, or trade. I got a whole garage full of stuff out there that needs work. A Ranger out there on its side. A couple of ICO modulators, all kinds of goodies. Plenty to keep me busy here, especially now that the weather's not too bad. Anyways, nothing to buy, sell, swap, or trade, Dennis. And not hanging around for the round table. We'll listen out. And thank you so much for running the net. And Ron, thanks so much for picking me up on the earlies. Back up it comes, Dennis. W6DQ, W8 Victor Golf.
Oh, very good, George. W8VG, W8, very good. W6DQ here, and fine business on all that. And I love the homebrew rig there. That always sounds fantastic. And also the Breading 12. We got one of those sitting in the other room here. That is such a pretty receiver. Love the front panel on that with the glass and it's not. I guess it's not etched. It's probably painted from the backside, but still, it's a pretty front panel, and neat little radio, and fine business on the old buzzard rig. We got a couple of those around here that we're working on too. One's actually Collins 30 transmitter that I want to get on the air. What is that? It's a 30. I always got to remember it's a 30. It's not the FXR. It's the low-cost version of the 30 FXR, and I can't think of what. Maybe it's 30 FXB is what it is, because it doesn't have the output tuning section in it, but it's still a 6-foot rack of stuff using a Collins 4A exciter, and that's kind of neat piece of gear. Now, that one doesn't use the 4A. Sorry, I apologize. It's got its own exciter. The 4A is in another rack of equipment I've got, another 30s transmitter. So, I misspoke. It's getting late. Anyway, very good, George, and nice signal over here as well. Big signal, like 20 to 30 over here, so you're doing good. So next up, well, let's see. Let me go back and see if Bob is back. Let's see if JIB made it. WA9JIB. Are you there, Bob? Go ahead. Okay, we'll try again a little later. So up next, I've got Steve, KF6SYD. Big signals from Long Beach. Go ahead, Steve, at W6DQ.
Sorry, Dennis. Oh, sure do appreciate you running the net tonight. You're doing a fantastic job. KF6SYD, Steve in Long Beach, AMI 1708, CCA, AM 1000D, transmitter, AKG microphone, inverted B at 70 feet, and oh, what a nice band. The single sideband competition is just kind of, well, I don't notice them anymore, and I just hear everybody. So good. And a shout out to Don NF7R. I feel bad about the hip. That must be, you sound like you're up for it. I'll be thinking about you. I'm sure you'll get through with that thing working just fine. Just sorry it's taken so many tries. And KD8PIQ Scott, good to hear you again. I know you checked in a week or two ago. It's hard to remember, but I was running the net that night, and I'm glad you're sticking with us. I was looking at your QRZ page. Wow, there's so many interesting things there to look at. I'll have to go back and study some of those pictures some more. That's quite a thing. So glad you're going to stay with us. Not too much going on around here. Hoping for a little bit cooler day tomorrow. It's supposed to be a little bit, so looking forward to that. And Ron, thanks for doing the earlies. For always doing the earlies. We appreciate that. So no round table. Back over to you, Dennis. I don't know your call letters anymore. Yeah, W6DQ. And the net, KF6SYD.
WA9JIB is back.
Oh, good, Bob. We'll pick you up in a second here. let me comment on Steve. Dairy Queen, Steve. Dairy Queen. KO6SYD W6DQ. That's funny. I get a kick out of that. Oh, boy. Glad you're back, Bob. And yeah, Steve, big signal here, and always nice to hear you. You're always sound good up here in the high desert, and it was sure good to see you last week, even under the circumstances. Unfortunately, but it was still good to see you. Always a pleasure. And you and Dave and Mike and Glenn, and that was cool. Anyway, let's see. What else? Oh, I guess I should mention, the reason I took the net tonight, I got an email from Vic. He apparently had a fall today and is having some problems with that, and just was not doing well enough, not feeling well enough to be doing the net tonight. So he asked if I would do it, and I was gladly responded to him, telling him, yeah, no problem at all. So Vic, if you're out there listening, you're in good hands here. At least I think so. It's what can I say? Anyway, it's fun. We enjoy doing it. So let's see. Up next, I've got Jeff, WB6ZBX. Hopefully you're there. It's your turn, W6DQ.
Well, thank you, Dennis. W6DQ to net. This is Jeff, WB6ZBX. In the wilds of southeast of Fresno here, about 15 miles. Tonight, the transmitter, I'm up at the house using the Collins 30K4 from about 1949, I think. A big 6-foot-tall transmitter with a window in the front. I love transmitters with windows in them. And listening on the 75A4. One of the reasons I wanted to get on here for this evening was to talk to our friend George, WA68CX. I was down to visit George yesterday, and I was able to get his KW1 on the air. And had a couple of interesting problems. The AM-CW relay, the coil's bad in it, so it wouldn't go into the AM mode. Dennis, you're probably familiar with that kind of a problem. And the second problem was the mod transformer was bad. And you might file this for future reference, Dennis. I made an assembly using the mod transformer out of a Gates BC1H, a 1 kilowatt broadcast transmitter. It made brackets, laid it on its back so it would slide in there where the KW1's mod transformer went, and I bolted the modulation reactor for the BC1H to the back of the mod transformer. And there's just, when I was done, there's barely enough room for the oil capacitor for the DC blocking for the reactor to go next to that, and got all the doors on. There wasn't any extra room, but it all closed up and looked really nice on the scope. George had it on here about a half hour ago. I just heard a few words of it, and for what I heard, it sounded pretty good. He's got receiver problems there. He's got all of his receivers are in a non-functioning state. So when I saw him, I brought his 75A4 back here, and I've got to do some work on it. All the couple of the front end coils are toasted in it, so I got to rewind the links on them. So not too hard to do. So we'll get that back to him, and he'll be able to hear and transmit here, hopefully in a couple of weeks. So we'll have George back amongst us. And Dennis, if you're down there rooting through Collins Mechanical Filters, keep your eye out for me for a mechanical filter for a KWS1. It's at 250 kilohertz. I think I have one in my KWS1 that is bad, but I'd like to have a spare here before I tear into it, so that I don't have something sitting disassembled on the bench weeks and weeks waiting for parts. You know what that's like. You don't get to use your benches that way. So anyway, that's the news from Lake Wobegon here. I felt good about getting George's transmitter going. It's the one he got from Wayne. So he's able to transmit, and hopefully here before too long he'll be able to receive too. So back to you, Dennis. W6DQ, WB6ZBX.
Okay, Jeff, very good. WB6ZBX, W6DQ, net control. Well, fine business. Well, yeah, we heard George on there earlier, and if he's not able to receive, does he have any receiver at all? Is he able to receive anything at all? Can we give him a call and get him on here tonight? Go ahead, Jeff.
All of his receivers have been used as dummy loads, so all of the front ends are fried in them. He had a Hammerland there, I think it was a 160 something, that was sort of working last week, but apparently it is failed completely. I told him if he could get on using the SDR. I think he has. He's done that in the past, so we may be able to get him on here if he can receive with the SDR and then transmit with the KW1. Over.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm aware of I know why the front ends are cooked. Dave, WJ6W, was telling me something about that, so I fully understand that with the way it was configured. Well, let me give him a call and see, George, if you're copying us on the SDR, web SDR, WA6HCX. George, if you're there, we'd love to hear you. This is W6DQ. Oh, no joy, no joy. Okay, oh, and I forgot, I just realized, that's two. Steve, I need a buzzer like you've got. That's two I messed up tonight. So, Jeff, hey, thanks for all of that, and I will keep an eye out for that filter. I have no idea what's in there. There's just it's a snaggle pack of Collins filters, let's put it that way. So we'll keep an eye out for that, and fine business on getting the KW1 fixed. And yeah, I was wondering what you were doing for a modulation transformer. You had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that the mod transformer was bad. And interesting about using the BC1H transformer and reactor. That's good. Well, I'm glad you were able to do that. And yeah, it is kind of tight in that compartment. Yes, there's not a lot of room for much of anything else in there. So unlike the rest of the radio, which is kind of wide open, the power supply is kind of tight. All right, Jeff, hey, thanks a lot for all you do. The 30K4 sounds great, and thanks for helping George out there, and I'm looking forward to hearing him back in the fold here with the rest of us here on 3870, so that'll be great. So, Bob, sorry, I'm going to come back to you. WA9JIB, why don't you go ahead and pick it up? It's W6DQ.
W6DQ and the group, WA9JIB, Bob here in Ma Cañada. No problem. I had just gotten a phone call that I had to take, and it kind of went on for a while. So, unfortunately, I missed a lot of the commentary, but so it goes. Yeah, just when we were at Mike's, I know that George got a Hammerland HQ180, I think it was, from Ron, K2RB, because Ron asked me to carry it to George's car, which I did. So, I would surprised if that one's fried, too. I've never fried a receiver front end. I don't know how you do it. Normally I have a TR switch between them, and if I'm using an auxiliary antenna, I always put it in the standby before I transmit. So I'm not sure how receivers get fried. Anyway, maybe I'll learn someday. Maybe the hard way, hopefully not. Anyway, I'm running my D104 into my Johnson Viking Valiant version 1.0. 145 watts of carrier on up to my dipole inverted V, which hangs off a 35-foot mast attached to the house. The ends out in the tree, one in the backyard, one in the front yard. I do go to an MFJ 962 Delta tuner, and I could probably tune right into it with the Valiant, but I use the tuner. I like to see the meters anyway on it. Figure I'd rather be nice to the Valiant than the tuner, so. Anyway, that's what I got going here, and the antenna is coax bed. Our receiver is my Hammerland HQ129 X-ray from 1946, and everybody's coming in pretty good on it, and I think the guys from back east went to bed, so Anyway, so that's the story here. No AMI number, no buy-sell swap at the moment. And I guess it's getting kind of late, so no round table. And back to you, Dennis. You are really booming in here. W6DQ, WA9JIB.
Oh, very good, Bob. WA9JIB and the West Coast AMI net, W6DQ. Well, likewise, big signal here. You sound good tonight. As you know, lately you've been. There was a time when we had a lot of trouble hearing you at times up here, but these days lately you've been coming in here very well. So we're really pleased for that. Regarding blowing out the front end of a receiver, it's real easy if you've got a Dow key relay that's misadjusted. You can adjust the contact positions on those things, and if you happen to screw both the transmitter and the receive port in a little too far so that the relay doesn't move, basically the wiper is stuck between the receive and transmitter ports, you can definitely toast the front end of a receiver, which is typically, as Jeff said, it's usually might be a transformer on the input that's usually the primary would get smoked out. Now, I've never done that, but I know somebody who did and helped him figure out how to put the thing back the way it was, because I happen to have one and was able to take pictures of it so that he could duplicate the front end coil that got toasted. But it does happen, and I don't know if that's exactly what the problem was with George, but I think he was definitely coupling too much RF into the receivers, and that has a tendency to do some damage to the front end of the receiver. Not necessarily the RF amp or anything like that. Just usually that you have a coil or a transformer input, and that primary of that transformer is going to get zapped. So yeah, I remember seeing that receiver. I remember seeing the receiver and guys carting that off. So good on that. So let's see. I'm glad you were back, Bob. I was worried that you maybe were having some transmitter problems because there was a carrier that was coming in and out where you were on the list when I was calling for you, and I thought maybe that might have been you. But thankfully, just a phone call. That's good. All right, next up, Bob, NA7RH. Let's hear from you. You had a nice signal. Hopefully it's still good. I bet it's better than it was before because conditions have changed. So go ahead and take your turn, Bob, W6DQ.
I got it. W6DQ. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong microphone there. W6DQ and the net NA7RH. Hopefully you're hearing me a little bit better now. All of the southern mosses seem to have faded into the buddy by and so on. So sounds like we have a good clear signal if I can get the right microphone in front of me this evening. Very good all around. I've been listening all night, and very nice big signals here all night long. Even starting out with Scotty, I don't remember hearing him before, but he was the prize winner here. He was about 50 over at my location, so quite amazing. And George YEC was not far behind, and he was quieting those guys in the south pretty well. So anyway, nice to hear my neighbor W8BG, and of course he's pounding in here, and very nice audio. I switched over to the old Nightkit R55 with the big Hammond output transformer and bookshelf speakers, and everyone is sounding just wonderful here. Okay, on Dairy Queen, I remember it well. I remember Dairy Queen well in Eastland, Texas, 1970. In the summer of 1970, working there, for Texas Electric Service Company for summer, and the Dairy Queen was the center of the universe at night, at least. Certainly enjoyed that particular Dairy Queen. So whatever else, I don't have much else to say except okay on the Dow key relays. I wasn't really aware of that. I've got one in this big 813 by 813 I'm working on, and maybe I should pay attention to its adjustment for sure. Most of mine just used open frame relays, and I think I don't think open frame relays have that problem, do they? Maybe you'll comment on that. What else? AMI 1543, nothing to swap, no on the round table. I'm running the old 6DQ5 sweep tube special, an 8236 in the final modulated by 4 1625s in parallel push pull. And then, as I said earlier, listening this evening on the Night Kit R55. Back to you, Dennis. W6DQ NA7RH.
Okay, Bob. Fantastic. A7RH and the West Coast AMI net W6DQ. Val, that's cool about Dairy Queen in Texas back in the early 70s. That's neat. And nice memory of that. And yeah, I'll have to share the story about how I ended up being called Dairy Queen sometime. I've been talking way too much tonight about stuff, so I'll save that for another time. But there is a story behind that. I prefer Delta Quebec, but oh well, it's one that's never going to go away. But yeah, Bob's sounding good, and yeah, it seems like the East Coast has kind of dropped down a bit. I'm still hearing a little bit of it here, but not enough to cause any problems now. So you're sounding good, and a big signal as well. Always a pleasure to hear you on the homebrew gear. I always enjoy that. So good to have you here again tonight. And let me turn it over to Robert, who's a newcomer, our other newcomer tonight. W7MKA. That's Mike Kilo Alpha. Go ahead and take a turn. This is W6DQ, Net Control.
Yeah, just on a real quick over, are you still able to copy me over W6DQ, W7MKA?
Yeah, Robert, you're kind of weak, but I can copy you. If I cut the bandwidth down, I think I can do better, but not super strong. But go ahead.
All right, well, I'll go. Take up and maybe somebody. Yeah, the band has completely changed to this location. I had unbelievably strong signals when I first started listening with when the AMI and your signal were probably 30 or 40 over 9. And you're probably down to an F5 maybe. There's most other stations I'm not hearing at all anymore. And we were running a BC669, which is a glorified helicopter boat radio. Getting about 50 or 60 watt carrier results. But I work for the power company at the hydro plant out in the sticks up here east of Lawrenceburg, Oregon. And got a lot of AM operating, but mostly World War II Navy shipboard here. So we got a lot of black wrinkle around the shack here. Back up to you, W6DQ to take it, W7MKA.
Okay, Robert, very good. W7MKA, W6DQ. Well, you made it, and I'm copying you, so I just cut down the bandwidth a little bit on the receiver, and it got rid of some of the noise, and you basically improved the signal-to-noise ratio quite a bit. So 50 to 60 watts of carrier is making it, which is amazing. When you stop and think about it, that's pretty cool. So good to have you here. We hope that you'll come back in the future. We're here every week, and we're also here on Monday nights. There's a group down in San Diego that run another AM net, same frequency, a little earlier, I think, in the evening. But boy, I'd love to have you back here and continue on with us. We always love newcomers joining us on AM, and always nice to hear new stations on here. So thanks for joining us, and hope things are well up there in your neck of the woods in Oregon. I got family from Grants Pass area there, so I know about where you are there. So cool. Let's see. Let me take a quick break and see if there's anybody else who'd like to join us. We're at the tail end of the list. Anybody else out there? This is W6DQ Net Control.
Whiskey Bravo 6 Delta X-Ray Romeo.
WB6 DXR. Let's see if I got that right. Delta X-Ray Romeo. Why don't you go ahead and take a turn? Give us your name and where you're located. Go ahead.
Okay, is my signal okay? You're understanding me? I haven't been on AM in years and years. Over.
Oh, we're copying you just fine here. It's a little noisy, but no problem, so I can copy you. Go ahead.
Okay, roger that. Thank you. This is Whiskey Bravo 6 Delta X-Ray Romeo. Name is West Lima Echo Sierra, and I'm located in Petaluma, about 40 miles north of the Golden Gate, and I'm west of town out in Dairy Country, about 10 miles, about 25 miles east of the coast, a little place called Chileno Valley. So I haven't been on AM in so long. I used to talk to Andy, KD6KTX, I believe. TKX, yeah, that's what it was, TKX, back in the 90s. And I had HT37, and used to have a lot of fun with it. Currently I'm on an ICOM IC781, and I just picked this up a few weeks ago. I've been looking for one for years and years, and just having a really wonderful time. It's absolutely immaculate. And I'm driving it into an Alpha 76 PA at 300 watts carrier, and I'm going through a balance cell network, a true balance cell with 2 roller coils into 450 ohm feeds, and I'm experimental antennas designed pretty much for 40 meters. It's 2 wavelengths on 40. This is a full wave on 75. It's at 30 feet. And I've got one radiator running north for 130 feet and one radiator running west. They're 90 degrees to each other. I was trying to get a omnidirectional signal, and I succeeded. It plots out 4 major lobes in each direction. So anyway, I won't hold it. Thank you very much, and be curious to see how I sound and how the antenna works on 75. I haven't used it much on 80. Whiskey Bravo 6, Delta X-Ray Romeo, back to net.
Okay, Les, very good. WB6DXR. This is W6DQ Net Control. Well, fine business, and welcome back to AM. And copied 100% of that. And actually, I'm familiar with that area up there. I many years ago worked for Hughes Aircraft and did some work out at the Three Peaks AT&T ground station that's out there on Marshall. That was out there on Marshall Petaluma Highway. So I know just about exactly where you are. I've driven back and forth between Petaluma. I used to stay in Petaluma at the hotel there and drive out to the coast on the good old Marshall Petaluma Highway, and spent quite a bit of time up in that area. It's a beautiful part of the country and great place to be. And you know, we know a few folks up there, like the guys out on Point Reyes. Richard Dillman, our buddy out there at KPH, friend of ours, and very good. Well, glad you could join us tonight. Glad you checked in. Please do come back and join us again. Love to have you back. And yeah, we know Andy, KD6TKX. He's a regular here, although not tonight, but he's a regular on here on our other nets. So always with a big signal at his location. So welcome, Les. I should say welcome back, and we look forward to hearing you again. So let's see if there's... Let me take a quick break and see if there's anyone else who'd like to join us at the tail end here. This is W6DQ. Okay, nothing seen on the spectrum and nothing heard, just noise. At least not hearing, of course now, not hearing anybody on the East Coast. Well, I'm going to officially close the net then for, this is Wednesday, the 29th of October. I hope, Vic, you're doing better and you're recovering from your fall, and hope to see you back here next time. And with that, I will say 7-3 and a very good evening to everyone. Have a great week, and we will see everybody next time. This is W60Q. We'll be shutting down and closing the net officially and returning the frequency to normal operation. Good night, all. W60Q will be clear.
This is Whiskey Bravo 6 Delta X-Ray Romeo, Les in Petaluma. I was wondering if there was anybody still around that could give me some signal reports. I'm curious as to how the antenna is working. Over.
Yeah, Les, WB6DXR, W60Q is still here, and I'm sorry I didn't give you a report. You're about you got a good signal, good modulation. You're hitting anywhere from S9 to 10 over here, and we got a good noise level. The noise level's down tonight, so no problem at all hearing you. The audio sounds good, so the ICOM's working just fine. Go ahead.
Okay, great. And where are you located at?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're located in the the wide spot in the road known as Inyo Kern. Inyo Kern is out in the Eastern Sierra. The southern end of the Eastern Sierra is off of Highway 395. So we're kind of about halfway between LA and Mammoth is where we're sitting out here. Just a little bit north of Mojave on 395 and Highway 14. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, roger that. Yeah, I know exactly where that is. I camp out in Saline Valley, Warm Springs, out at the Oasis out there occasionally. And I usually hang out at Bishop in the evening and then go out in the daytime and stay out in the desert for a few days. There's a little motel there in Bishop that I stay the night at, and then I go out for a few days. So I know exactly where you're at. Okay, thank you very much. You're here about solid S9 plus 10, and I'm glad it sounds okay. Like I said, I just haven't used the antenna much on 75, so I wasn't sure how it was working. I appreciate you giving me the report there. Over.
No problem, Les. And you're sounding good. And fine business on Saline Valley. We know exactly where that is. And hopefully we'll have a chance to talk about some of that sometime and relay some stories. We were just here a couple of weeks ago up in that neck of the woods. We have a friend who lived in Darwin, and of course, I'm sure you know where Darwin is, just over the other side of 190 from the road out to Saline. Apologies. I had to cough. A friend of ours that lived in Darwin passed away earlier this year, and we were up at his house. Oh, stand by. Got some dust or something in my throat. I don't want to cough in the microphone. Yikes. I hate when that happens. Anyway, he passed away earlier this year, ham friend, and we were up there for a celebration of life for him, and we've been helping his sister move some of his ham gear and sell it off for them. So know the area and have a lot of friends that spend a lot of time out in the Saline Valley. So yeah, I'm very familiar with that area out there. Let me turn it back to you and try and recover my voice. WB6DXR, W6DQ.
Okay, roger that. Whiskey 6, Delta Quebec, Whiskey Bravo 6, DX Radio. All right, very good. Yeah, I really like the desert out there. It's so beautiful. And I used to, back in the 90s, we would go out as a group with ham radio operators and four-wheel drive people, and we would camp out there for a week to 10 days and bring our solar panels and push-up masts, and I would run a 40-foot half-wave, 260-foot inverted V and I had an ALA 500 solid state amp. Used to have a pretty good time out there, and then during the day we'd four-wheel drive up the canyon there. I made it to Steel Pass, put my name in the book there in the box, and I just have fond memories, and it's just such beautiful, beautiful area there over.
Oh yeah, and I agree with you on that one. Yeah, I've done a lot of four-wheeling out there myself in the old days. Back in the late 70s and 80s, we spent a lot of time out in that area, Saline and, of course, Death Valley, all through the Sierras, and, of course, fell in love with this area up here, and met a friend here in Inyokern that I used to come up and visit him and stay here and hang out here and at his place, and ultimately, when I retired, decided this is where I wanted to live, and so here we are. And my wife sitting next to me, KF6QNG, we met down south in the LA area years ago, and we had just started dating, and she decided to move up here when I moved up here, and she's been here ever since. City girl has just fallen in love with being up here in this country, so. It is beautiful here. We got desert, we got mountains, and just all kinds of things close by. So I share your enthusiasm about the area. It is really a beautiful place, and no shortage of places to go and explore. That's for darn sure. So yeah, I did some exploring, thinking about the area up there when I was up working at Three Peaks. We did a lot of exploring. We had a lot of free time when we weren't working. It was summertime, so late evenings, get on the road and cruise around and look at all the countryside up there, and it's still one of my favorite areas in California is that north coast up there, like Point Reyes and going north up through Bodega Bay and up towards the Russian River. That is just a gorgeous place up there, and the farmlands where you're talking about is just beautiful in there. So it's a different kind of beauty. It's green, which we don't have here. So it's nice, and I'm sure you enjoy being there. Petaluma's kind of a neat little town there. Probably not so little anymore. That was, gosh, when was it? That was back in the early 80s I was working up there, so a good 45 years ago that I was there. So it's probably changed a bit since then, but anyway, I'll tell you what, we're gonna pack it in for the evening here. It's getting kind of late for us, and need to head back over to the house. From the Radio Shack is a separate building here at RQTH, but we're gonna head back over to the house and call it a night. So, Les, it was a pleasure meeting you this evening. Enjoyed visiting with you, and fine business on the trips to Saline and around the desert out here. I hope we have an opportunity to talk about that again and swap some stories. So with that, I will say 7-3, and I'm going to turn it back over to you, WB6DXR from W6DQ.
Okay, roger that. Well, thank you very much for the welcome back, and I'm looking forward to getting back on AM. I do have some nice gear to put on the air. I've got a Johnson Viking 2, and I've got the HT37. I also have 75A4 and an R390, I think it is, the general coverage version for the, I don't remember exactly what the specification numbers are on it. But I've got a lot of Hammerland and Hallicrafters receivers and stuff too, so I'm looking forward to getting back into AM. I really enjoyed it over the years. And looking forward to catching up with Andy on AM too. He helped me in the 90s get orientated with it and learn how to set the modulation values and that kind of stuff. So it sounds like I'm going to be able to do okay with the antenna here on 75. So that was one concern I had. I didn't want to be a pain to listen to. So that's always, not good. Especially with everybody having such beautiful signals. It's nice night tonight. You're right, the band was fabulous. Okay, I will bid you and the XYL a nice evening. Take care, and thanks again for picking me up. I appreciate it. WB6DXR 7-3.
7-3, Les, and nice to chat. And yeah, hopefully you'll catch up with Andy here, and he's usually here on the AMI. So have a good one. Have a great week, great evening, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time here. So W6DQ will be clear, 7-3.